Here in the spotlight, everything's alright. Here in the spotlight, watching movies every night. Here in the spotlight, keep the room lit bright. Here in the spotlight, we don't want to be a fright. Tell you about the movie that is pretty groovy. Tell you about the movie that you should go see. Warn you about the movie that is really so crappy. Warn you about the movie that just should never be. Here in the spotlight, grab some popcorn and take a bite. Here in the spotlight, hold your girl's hand real tight. Here in the spotlight, we're gonna try with all our might. But here in the spotlight, we're gonna be nerdy and white.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight. I'm Kyle Pierson.
And I am John Horton. And this week, this episode, we are talking about sequels, bad sequels. We're not going to do the top bad sequels because we're always finding new sequels that are just as bad. We're just going to be talking about sequels that are really bad and really inferior to their original films. We're going to let Kyle start it off this time. What you got?
Well, the Friday the 13th franchise had a lot of interesting sequels.
Blasphemer.
Some of them were good, some not so good, but there was one that really was a departure from the whole franchise.
Oh my God.
Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, the second time they said that they were going to end this franchise, and they did not. The beginning of the film felt like it should be the end to the film. Okay. They blow the mother up. Jason's gone. Thing's over. We're moving on, which seems like a strange way to start the film and not end it. That's because this film is not a regular Friday the 13th film. This one is going to have an alien body that's going to go from person to person to person. So you really don't have Jason in the movie that much. He's in the beginning, he's in the end, but in the middle you have a whole bunch of other people that have this creature in his mouth. Now, that's really why I'm saying this film is bad. It's not necessarily a bad film in itself. It just does not fit the Friday the 13th. I mean, they took some liberties. They went to space. They went to space. But this one is nothing like the other ones. And if you're going to take one out to help the series make more sense, this would be the one that you would take out. And that's all I have to say about that. John?
I agree with you that this would be the best one to take out to give a more cohesive flow to the whole series. I wouldn't say I wouldn't categorize any of the Friday the 13th movies as something so horrible I don't want to watch it. This was not the best, but it did have enough in it, I think, to make it worthy. It had some good blood and gore and kills. It had that killer fight scene. That was the coolest fight scene I've seen in a Jason flick at the very end, where he's just taken one of the main characters from the Friday the 13th series and just beating him the fuck up. Not even killing him, just throwing him into a playpen or the bars that you crawl around on the playground, and then pushing the fucking thing over. That was cool. And then it ends with the Freddy glove grabbing Jason's mask, setting up for the anticipation of a great Freddy versus Jason movie. Instead, we got that other piece of shit.
Which I like that. You didn't like that? I
hated it. That should have been on my list. That's the only one I hated.
Really?
Yes. That is bad.
So I'm in a couple Friday the 13th fan films. One's pretty psychedelic, and the other one's pretty close. And it also brings in other elements. Like the Friday the 13th series, there is films, there's a Necronomicon. And the idea from the director was that Pamela Voorhees used it to bring Jason back, and Jason's actually a Deadite, which explains Jason Goes to Hell. And that also helps my movies because you can actually put them into the timeline in certain places and the various things. And that also makes it so that I'm part of the Friday the 13th universe. I'm part of the Nightmare on Elm Street universe. I'm part of the Evil Dead universe. And if you watch Friday the 13th Blood Loss fan film, I'm also part of another horror universe. That I'll leave as a surprise if you watch the film. So I like it. That's the one thing I like about this film, and it explores the Deadite issue if you want to go that route. And then that gives me more universes I can pretend that I'm a part of, even though no one, very, very, very few people are going to see the two films. But and the other one, Neon Fear, I'm also, because that one has no ending. When they mention in one of these, might even be this one, where they talk about a dream, he was dreaming, I'm including that as part of the dream. So until they rectify and finish that film off, that's part of the dream, and that explains why the movie is the way it is. So so that's how I'm going to I'll put together a viewing order of all these films, so you can watch the entire universe in the way I see it. And there.
I don't think we run in the same circles, Kyle.
We don't. We don't. And again, you're pulling me into yours.
I'm not going to say, and the only thing I'm going to say about Blood Loss is it's going to be a 60-second scare review that I'm going to do tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow night because it's getting late. Also,
be gentle.
I'll be good. I only got 60 seconds. I can't be that fucking mean. Maybe. I will also throw this at you. You said that there was one that universe that you were not going to say anything about. Leave it a surprise. There's actually two. The other one would tie into this.
Hold on. I got to move. So stand up again. Really? Oh, I got to go back and rewatch it.
It's right in the beginning when the first girl runs up to the cabin and Henry is in there and he has a needle full of reanimator juice.
Oh my God. You're right. You're right.
This is
why I got to get those. Because now I just went and I had to get the other franchise, all of those movies. You know how many of those there are? And I was like, oh my God. And I think I stopped watching them at 2. So there's 10. I can't even find the 9th one. So,
Jesus.
So, yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. So someday I'm going to put it together, a whole thing, so you can watch the entire universe with me in it.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
I'm in it 10 seconds. That's 10 seconds more than I'm in most of my movies. So
yeah, and the other one, you are what, a 7-second news voiceover? That
a trailer voiceover. Yeah, I'm a trailer voiceover in the other one.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did the trailer.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm in a trailer. Yep.
All right. So
by the way, I know we make fun of these fan films, but these people go through a lot of trouble and money and effort to make these things. Yes. And people like me and John back them. So, quality-wise, they're never going to be studio quality. They're never going to be. So if the issue is lighting or, you don't have the best actors, these people are making movies. We're sitting there talking about it. They're making them. So I applaud anybody who can get a movie done the way they want it done and God bless you, and don't let anybody tell you that your movie sucks or is not entertaining or whatever. There are people that absolutely, for every movie I've talked about hating, you go on somewhere online and you find somebody who absolutely loves it because they saw it in the right day, the right time, they had the right mood. So yeah, so keep doing what you're doing, make the movies, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, especially us.
Yeah, I ripped the ever-loving shit out of Murder Size. I'm about the only person who has ever talked shit about that movie. I have seen nothing but tons and tons of people saying how great it is, what a great piece of work they did, good job, congratulations. Opinions are like assholes. We may make fun of some of them we love. Some of them are fucking phenomenal. It's surprising and shocking, but it's surprising and shocking to me that anybody can make any of these movies, regardless of how piss poor it is. Waspzilla, about gargantuan-sized wasps and people. As bad as that is, God damn it, you fucking made it.
Yeah, and there's people that love it.
Made your dream come true, and I just sit here doing a review show, which is our
that's the thing. And when we're in it, I've done a number of movies. I've done big blockbuster movies. I've done zero. I've paid to be in movies. I've gotten paid to be in movies. I've done some pro bono. But yeah, anybody who can get a movie done. What pisses me off more than anything isn't that there's all these, because a lot of people are like, why are these people making all these low budget bad movies? That doesn't, because anybody who says that, most likely they have the chance are going to be in the movie. If somebody came to them and said, you want to be in the movie, they're like, damn right I want to be in the movie. Everybody wants to be in a movie. So you're making a lot of people's dreams come true. However, what drives me crazy is when people spend a lot of money on like a big budget movie and then nobody goes. And that really, because I'm like, oh man, come on, people, get out there, watch this movie. Because there'll be a movie that, is selling out every week. And then another film like, Nobody gets overshadowed. I'm like, you got to be watching Nobody. So, by the way, you got to see Nobody too so we can review it.
I'm thinking about going and seeing it this weekend.
Okay, good. Because I saw it. Okay, we gotta move on. It's late. What do you want? What's your next movie?
My next movie? I haven't even done one movie yet, motherfucker.
Oh, do your movie.
I got you beat with Jason Goes to Hell. I've got one even worse. American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh.
Beat that one. What an absolute piece of fucking trash. From the characters to the story to the effects. These are some of the worst werewolves I've seen. Talking about independent movies, I've seen better looking werewolves in these independent Indiegogo movies than what this movie had. And the guy's bungee jumping off the Eiffel Tower, and one of them flies back up and hits his head on it and lives. I will go back and revisit movies that I know I hated. I just went back and revisited the Fog remake. I can't do American Werewolf in Paris. I tried. I made it about 5 minutes and I said, no, I'm done. The original, the first one, American Werewolf in London, was such a great movie. And this one, Jesus fuck. That's it.
Yeah, I can't review it. I remember it was, we're watching, I think it was a midnight movie that I saw it at, and I'd worked all day long and I fell asleep right when it started. I used to host midnight movies Friday and Saturday, but then I'd work from way early in the morning to way late at night doing 2 jobs and whatever, and I fell asleep, so can't review it. So we got to move on to the next one.
You need to watch it so you can review it next time.
There, no,
Like glowing and Horton.
I cannot. My threshold for watching subpar movies is I've reached the limit. My wife's about, she's about done with me. So anyway, for best sequels week, I did Empire Strikes Back. For ones that I wasn't a fan of, is Episode 8 in the Star Wars series, The Last Jedi. Now, it's not my least favorite film in the Star Wars saga. My least favorite film is Star Wars Episode 1, but that's a prequel, John, and we're doing sequels.
Oh, fuck you.
So if we should have just said follow-ups. Should have just said follow-up movies, not sequels. So instead, I'm talking about Episode 8. Now, it's not... this one's an interesting one. And again, I'm going to come to defense in part of this. Rian Johnson, who directed this, has also directed the last episode of Breaking Bad, one of the best series of all time. He did the Knives Out films. Fantastic, absolutely. So I know the guy can write. I know he can direct. This film I didn't like, and it could be the fact that the plan was, in most film franchises, different people make the different installments. Not everybody makes every single film in the franchise. But this one is bad in the fact that they came to them and said, okay, we're going to make 3 films. JJ, you're making the first one. So you get to kick the whole thing off. Then for Ryan, he wasn't able to start the story, nor was he able to finish it. He had to jump into somebody else's work that, is, it's not like the first one is done and that story has wrapped up and now we're into a different installment. It's, 3 parts of one story. So he doesn't get to start it and he doesn't get to end it. So that, I'm like, well, that's not the way to do it. If you're going to do 3 films, give the same person all 3 films to do it. That's why JJ had to, came back at the end to try to, salvage what had happened, especially when they, parted ways with the director of the third one. That said, this film spends 1 hour not teaching Rey how to be a Jedi. The whole premise is about trying to get fuel for their ship. So basically, the whole movie is we need to get to a gas station. Then they send some people out to find a character that they never actually do find. They've got Mark Hamill, who lived in real life. They kill him off. Carrie Fisher, who died in real life and who actually dies in the movie, they bring back to life. And easily they could have gotten rid of her coming back to life, and they could have kept Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, alive. So you're going into the next film now you're down 2 people, because so that didn't seem like a smart move. And I know they didn't want to mess with his film, but when you're looking at the big picture, and he kills off the villain that we had just established in the first one. So now that we don't have that villain, you have to bring somebody of note back that you want to see dead. Otherwise, you just bring back another villain to kill, and there's no big dramatic ending to a trilogy of trilogies, which is I would assume why they brought back the Emperor, and they couldn't really bring back Vader because Vader, they really were focusing on the fact that he had died. So when JJ took over, I thought he did a good job of taking what was left and making it, and then even keeping Leia in there by using scenes that he had edited out of the previous films. So I thought JJ was in a bad spot, just like with Star Trek. I'm like, okay, how do you start over again? He had to reboot it already, and he figured out, okay, let's reboot it. I mean, episode 7 is a remake of episode 4, almost scene by scene, but he kept it as a sequel. It's still fun. I enjoyed it. But then right after he figures out how to solve that problem, then he has to solve another problem. And he gets a lot of flack for that. And I'm thinking, I think he did the best that he could with what he had. And that's why, I wasn't thrilled they brought back, I had same problem with Marvel. When you kill people off, freaking kill them off. You can't keep bringing everybody back all the time. It gets rid of any drama because when they die, they're coming back. When Jason dies, Jason's coming back.
Right.
We've ruined the big. That's why I thought it would be great if they exploded, blew him up at the end. I'm like, if you're gonna blow him up at the end and say, okay, that's how he's finally, that would be to me the key that he's finally gone. And instead, that's how they started a freaking film. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Star Wars sequels. John?
I will defer this one to you, Kyle. Have not seen any of these new ones. Seen the first 3, seen the second 3. That's it. Never seen another Star Wars movie after episode 3 or a TV series.
The series are crapshoots. Some of them I liked, some of them I couldn't get into. One of them I didn't even finish.
Wow.
So
that's unusual for you because you are.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's catering to another audience. When I saw episode 1 re-released in 3D, there was a mentally challenged person that was sitting right in front of me. And when Jar Jar came on, he kept quoting him, which normally would drive me insane.
Right.
But it was cool because I'm like, he is so into this movie. This is like, and I think at some point he said it was his favorite movie. Wow. And I'm like, okay, we can all be part of the same Star Wars family. We just like different parts of it. And episode 1 was his film, and he absolutely loved it, and that was something that he related to. And that's when my whole attitude toward films actually changed, because I'm like, wow, well, why are all these movies made for me? They're not. They're made for different people. Different people make them. They all have their own ideas of what they'd like to see. So this film might not necessarily be my cup of tea, but it might be theirs. So good. They have their movies that they can enjoy. Even in episode 8, when I left the theater, there was a group of guys talking. One guy said that episode 8 was his favorite of the Star Wars films. So, yeah, in these reviews, we're not trying to sway you back and forth. It's just our take on why we think the way we think.
There's no telling why I think the way I think.
Yeah, nobody wants to be in your brain. Nobody wants to be inside your brain.
It's a dangerous place. So speaking of everyone's got their own likes and dislikes, this is going to be something I think that people were really wanting when we were doing this back in high school, was a genuine disagreement between you and I. And we're going to disagree on this.
Not necessarily.
What's that?
Not necessarily. You're
think
surprising me so far.
I think we will. One of the worst sequels that I have ever viewed is Caddyshack 2. That movie was absolute shit. From Dan Aykroyd's Mrs. Esterhaus to Randy Quaid to Jackie Mason trying to be the sequel's Rodney Dangerfield, to the uninteresting lead, to Chevy Chase and whatever. He lost his coolness in the second one, I thought. He was phoning in his lines. I mean, there was no heart to it. The movie was horrible. If I get the poison arrow out, will you suck out the poison? Fuck.
All right.
Change my mind.
I don't think I'm going to change your mind. Here's my situation with the whole Caddyshack universe, I guess.
The universe.
First of all, I wasn't a huge fan of Caddyshack 1. I liked parts of it a lot. I loved Bill Murray. I liked, Ted Danson, not Ted Danson, Ted Knight. All of a sudden I'm at Cheers. Rodney Dangerfield. There's a lot of the movie that is good, but there's a lot of spots where just, I'm waiting to get to those good scenes. They're not all, Baby Ruth in a pool scene. But the scenes in there that are funny are funnier than any scenes that are in Caddyshack 2. So I will say that. I have seen Caddyshack 2 more only because Caddyshack 2 ran on HBO all the time. And it was rated PG, I believe, or PG-13. I think PG at the time. So that could run all day long. When Caddyshack 1 was on, it could only run after 8 p.m. until like 4 a.m. or something, because that one was rated R. At least that's the way it used to be. I don't think it matters anymore. But that's the way it was. So Caddyshack 2 would be on a lot. So I'd watch it. And it wasn't a great movie. I give you that. And I love Dan Aykroyd. I love Blues Brothers. I like Ghostbusters. I love Dan Aykroyd. But obviously, when they lost half their actors and they were replacing them, they're trying to be similar characters. And he's trying to be like Bill Murray. And I didn't think that was necessary. And instead, I think that is probably Dan Aykroyd's worst performance. Is that whole thing. I mean, when I see that, yeah, I cringe too. And my guess is he might. I don't know. Maybe he loves it. Maybe it's, my stepmother is an alien that he doesn't like. But yeah, I'm not going to argue with you because I don't have a huge feeling about it. I don't own Caddyshack 2. I don't rewatch Caddyshack 2 a lot. Actually, I haven't seen it since it was on HBO all the time. So yeah, I'll just say that I didn't dislike it as much as the regular Caddyshack fans did.
I can't believe you like it better.
I know you wanted an argument, but you're not going to get one.
Damn you. Damn you.
There'll be one day, but not yet. Not yet.
All right, what you got next?
Okay, I am a huge Police Academy fan.
Okay.
But
yeah,
they lost their way. What started off as an R-rated film that became PG-13, it became PG, then we had an animated series. It was gone for a couple of years because they used to knock one out every single year. Mm-hmm. And the quality did go down. I can get through 4 without any issue. The first 4, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
1 and 2 I like a lot. 3 and 4 go, it goes down a bit. 5 and 6 is another level down. But when 7 came back, Mission to Moscow, I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's been a few years. We're getting Police Academy back. Excellent. And then it never hit my theater. And I'm like, well, where's Police Academy? I could have swore there was another Police Academy. I didn't dream it. I know there's another Police Academy coming out. And then it came out on home video. And I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch it. I've watched it 3 times in my lifetime. When I got the VHS, when I got the DVD, and then when I went back and rewatched the DVDs in a marathon with my wife. The first 2 times I fell asleep each time. The second time I'm like, I am not going to fall asleep. I'm going to stay awake for this thing. And I couldn't do it. And the third time I finally watched it, I'm like, okay, my wife's here. It's just not me and alone in a dark room. I'll stay awake for this. And other than one minor little flippant joke that Commandant Lassard says, and I can't even remember the joke, but it's one tiny little, not even a big joke, just a kind of a little, Commandant Lassard type saying, he just says a little joke. That was the only time I chuckled in the entire movie. The beginning starts out and they've changed the theme a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I like the regular theme, but time, maybe time to change it up. And then it starts off with there's this video game, and I can't even remember I know there's a video game involved, and they have to go to Russia, and the cast keeps getting smaller and smaller, and they go to Russia, and then there's at the end they're riding horses, and it's they're doing these stunts, and it's obviously not them, and it just looks so cheap and chintzy, and I'm like, why did you guys, if you're going to come back, why this? And there's no question as to why that was the last film. It was like, okay, we're done. It can't be done. And then they made a series that was on TV for a while, and I saw like the pilot of that, and I didn't get past that. There's talk about supposedly Key and Peele have the rights to Police Academy, if what I've read is accurate, and they had secured the rights just before Peele did Get Out and started his new horror trajectory. So I think that's why we haven't seen another one. And I don't know if they still have the rights. I don't know if that was all BS or not, but unless they get all the original people back, or they get a really incredible stellar cast and then throw some money at this thing and say, okay, we're going to do a new generation here. It's good the way it is. So, but I wish it would have ended on a happy note. But yeah, 7 was just the nail in the coffin.
Wasn't Hightower the lead in that one? They didn't even have a love interest. It just Hightower was the main guy.
He was in it more because there was the Nick, Commandant Lassard's nephew, that was in 5 and 6. He's in it, so he's kind of like Mahoney. But yeah, Bubba Smith had a bigger role in this. Then they brought Fackler back. Callahan's in it, but it's just. I mean, it's like an outline for a story that nobody put any jokes in. And they're like, okay, we got to go. And they're like, oh, we forgot, we didn't put the jokes in it yet. Nope, just get it done.
Yep.
And
run a budget.
Yeah, so that one I think is one of the most disappointing ones because I was such a fan in the beginning. I even made a game when I was a kid, a Police Academy game. So I was really big into Police Academy. I had the shirt, the integrity, knowledge, courage, the logo shirt and hat. Yeah. I loved Police Academy. And to see it just, because 5 was bad enough. 5 had a bag switch, and then 6 had a mask that they tore off, which is one of the things about the Mission Impossibles that I liked when JJ took over. They have issues with the masks. So, they're not always doing that same, you can only do the mask gimmick so many times. And when they put it in there, and it was no reason for it because they literally unveiled who was under the mask a couple seconds later. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And then 7 somehow still was worse. So.
Yeah. On a side note, I agree with you completely on this. I love Police Academy, huge fan. This one was very crap. I don't think I laughed at all. I don't even think it got a out of me. But on an interesting side note, there is the ultimate documentary that was an Indiegogo.
I saw that. I didn't see it. I saw that there was one.
I've been waiting 6 years for them fuckers to complete that and send it out. I don't think it's ever coming.
Wow.
but it's a massive documentary that retrospective that's supposed to have interviews with everybody you could fucking think of. It's supposed to be 6 or 7 hours long, cover everything Police Academy. It's supposed to be massive.
That's almost longer than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the movies are only like 84 minutes. I mean, they're short.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. But yeah, I'd watch it.
Oh, hell yeah. If I ever get it, I'm definitely going to be in love with it. My next one that I absolutely do not like, and I think it is worse than the original, is The Hills Have Eyes Part 2, the remake sequel.
Oh, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, didn't you just tell me that was surprisingly good? Now, so now we're going the opposite way.
Yes, the original or the remake was good. The first one, the one by the French director, I think he is Aja Alexandre or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Same guy that did Piranha remake.
Mm-hmm.
He did a great job with that remake. The second one, I think they gave it to like Wes Craven's kid or something, and it just really is bad. It totally makes these guys into superhuman perverts because they're capturing people and they're capturing women and raping them and chaining them up until they give birth and then killing them.
Yeah.
And they're all mutant, they're all gangly looking and scabby looking and shit. Like I said, it's like they took. What the fuck was that?
The fan on my computer just came on. I told you I had to turn the air conditioning off in here because that was too loud. So that fan came on instead.
But yeah,
is it really loud?
No, I don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
I just heard it when it started up. I was like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this movie. But it's really bad. It's got a military group of trainees or military trainees going out to find out why this group of researchers has not checked in. They run across an old nuclear bomb town. The mutants are there. Each one's got to have their own special little quirk. Like one is shaped like rocks and bah humbug. Fuck that piece of shit. I hate it.
Well, the good news is I haven't even seen the remakes, so we can move right on from that one. And it doesn't sound like a movie I want to talk about anyway. Oh my god.
That'll be our next game.
Yeah. Okay.
If we steal one of the other person's picks, you got to drink black olive soda. If you haven't seen the movie the other person is talking about,
oh my god. No. Soda. No. I cannot watch 10 hours of your. If you don't like it, there's no.
Come on.
No way. No way. I have a life. I'd like to think outside of here that every hour counts now. I could die tomorrow.
And you would go without watching An American Werewolf in Paris. Think about how empty when you get to the heavenly gates, they're going to say, do you have any regrets? And you're going to go, fuck, I really wish I would have watched that movie.
Nope. Nope. I would like to have a lot of the time back that I spent sitting there, like, because in the theater, I don't like to walk out. Now, if I'm home and I'm watching streamer, I'm like, nope. We're watching something else. Okay, moving on to a sequel to a film that the original I thought would suck. Who the hell wants to watch a film about a bus that will blow up if it goes under 50 miles an hour? Turns out, fantastic. Loved it. from the beginning with the whole elevator sequence, Jeff Daniels' death scene, everything about Speed 1 was the exact opposite of what I expected. Speed 2 is what I expected from Speed 1. And what's weird about Speed 2 is it got 2 thumbs up by Siskel and Ebert. And for those of you out there who don't know who the hell Siskel and Ebert were, Siskel and Ebert were the movie reviewers. That's the 2 people that all of us reviewers strive to be. We wanted to be like them. And I didn't really watch them to see what they thought of the movie. I watched them to get a clip of the movie to see if I wanted to see it for myself. I could care less what they said. So that's probably what we're doing wrong with this show. We need to show the clips. And then we'll get copywritten, and then we'll be screwed. So that's probably not going to work anyway. Speed 2, Keanu Reeves smartly rejected, declined to do it. Sandra Bullock wasn't as smart. She was just, Speed was her big breakout film, so she came back for the sequel. And it is on a boat. It's Speed 2, Cruise Control, and now we have a boat that's out of control. And it is, to me, every single scene seems forced. It's like, okay, we need this scene, but on a boat. Every scene they did from the first one, they're trying to figure out how to redo it, and it just, to me, didn't work. But again, Siskel and Ebert, 2 thumbs up, fun ride. To me, I was just like, okay, no, this is not doing it for me. And then they brought back the same character that was in the first one, that was in the car, that he's trying to drive the car while he's jumping on the bus. And they bring him back for no reason other than to say, oh, it's the guy from the first one. And that's really the only reason he's there, which so some people may have been, oh, that's cool, he's back in it. For me, it was just like, what the hell is he doing here? so it didn't work for me. So Speed 2 was a no for me.
I had mentioned that I do go back and revisit movies that I haven't seen in a long time. Speed 2 is one that I've wanted to go back and revisit because I don't remember anything about it. Now I don't want to anymore. So thank you very much. Now you
Sorry, Sandra. If you're going to do a third one, you got to get all the same people back.
Well, what could they put it on?
I don't know. They shouldn't do it. I mean, they shouldn't do it. It shouldn't be called Speed. It should be all the diehards weren't all in buildings. So, exactly. You could come up with a different concept if you want those same characters back. But
I came up with an idea when you started talking about this in Siskel and Ebert. We would get dinged for copyright if we showed clips. What if we reenacted scenes?
Oh,
like Speed 2. Oh. You could be the one dude. I'll be Sandra Bullock.
Oh,
I got the boobies.
I like where this is. Now we got to act. I could just print out a scene and we're like, okay.
We'll have to try that one of these times.
Yeah, we might do that.
If that could be interesting. See us print out a script page and see us react it, let us know in the comments and give us the movie that you want us to do.
Oh, God.
We'll fucking do it. As long as it's not porn. Not doing no fucking porn scenes.
You were doing one earlier.
Not after that last time.
Yeah. You do it once, and then you're like, you know what? Once they brought the spatula in there, I was like, okay. No, thank you.
How many of these?
And you want me to put it in that way? No.
Stunt double.
Okay. Who's next? Oh, you're up.
How many have we done?
There's one more for me.
Okay, then I'll do one more. One that it's not necessarily a horrible movie. I would go back and revisit it. It's nowhere near as good or as charming or as cute as the original. Cute. You ever think you'd hear me talk about a cute movie? Short Circuit 2. Did not really like the sequel very much. They don't have Steve Guttenberg. Fisher Stevens is not up to par as a leading man in that particular character. Ali Sheedy was supposed to be in it. She is in it. She's listed in it. I don't remember her having much of anything to do with it, though.
Maybe she's on the phone. I don't remember. I haven't seen that in a long time. I remember not hating it, but yeah, it's not as good as the original. I didn't like when they're beating them up. I was like, it's just like an animal. I was like, I don't need to see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
plot wise, the whole criminal thing, he's making toys out of Johnny Five. Just didn't pass for me. It lost that sweet, charming innocence of and the chemistry between Ali and Gutenberg, I thought in the original was great.
Yeah,
I thought they were a really good couple, and it's non-existent in this one.
Yeah. Plus, that one had it started off before you really got Johnny into it, and this one Johnny's in it from square one. So yeah, there was time for some other scenes of them getting ready for all this to happen. If I recall, but yeah, it's been a while since I've seen either of them, to be honest.
Right.
But yeah, those were. I wouldn't say it was one of my worst, but yeah, it wasn't as it didn't hold up to the first one.
Yeah, there was a couple that I had as I was looking and researching, that I forgotten all about that I want to go back and revisit. So maybe I can add them to one of these lists. Mannequin.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like instead of saying the top 5 or the bottom 5, I think it's just a list of 5. Because as I'm doing it, and I was thinking about, just even going through the streamers, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about that movie. Yep. So yeah, there's a bunch. All right, well then we're going to wrap it up with one more that my guess is a lot of people don't even realize is a sequel.
Uh-oh.
Speed Zone. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. I don't know if I have ever seen it.
Speed Zone is technically the Cannonball Run 3.
Huh.
Jamie Farr as the Sheik, if I'm not mistaken, is the only returning character from the first 2 films. And there is no Cannonball Run that particular year, because I think they hold it every 4 years, or I forget what the rules are of the Cannonball Run, but there wasn't going to be a Cannonball Run. But the leaders of his country are disgraced that he lost the Cannonball Run the last 2 times. So they buy a Cannonball Run for the Sheik so he can win it. So the Sheik's in it, and what's weird is there's a bunch of posters that have all the actors' names in them. Yeah. He's not on any of the posters. So the one guy that's a returning character isn't in there. I think in different countries this may have been released as a Cannonball Run 3. Cannonball, 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 Cannonball. On re-release, this was renamed Cannonball Fever. Cannonball. To tie it in with Cannonball Run, but still didn't call it Cannonball Run. So I don't know if there's a rights issue. I don't know what happened. But when the people that are in it are John Candy, Eugene Levy, Alyssa Milano. There's a bunch of people in it, but the quality of it is awful. I mean, it looks like it was made 20 years earlier. And it is really just, it's grainy. There's the jokes aren't there. None of the characters that you care about in the first two are in it, so technically it's not really a Cannonball Run movie anyway, because without Bert and Dom, it doesn't feel like it's a Cannonball Run movie anyway. But it is a bizarre film in the fact that it distanced himself from Cannonball Run, which would have been the only thing that would have helped sell it. And it's the only reason why I've seen it. And it's available free on YouTube. You can actually watch it for free on YouTube. Somebody uploaded it. If you're on my Area 51 ESD little page, I have a movies and tie-ins playlist, and I've added it in there. So you can check that out if you do want to watch it. But it's a rough one, and I figured you probably hadn't heard of it, let alone seen it.
Yeah, like I have heard of it. I distinctly remember the cover. I know I've seen that cover art. Have I seen the movie? It doesn't sound like I have. I don't remember that plot line or a chic movie with Candy and Levy. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm intrigued because
It's
I love
short.
the Cannonball Runs.
Yeah.
I
I liked the first one a lot. The second one was pretty weak.
Yeah.
But this one it's a whole nother dimension as far as quality goes. I mean, it looks like wow. It's actually the quality of that, like the Meat movie that you and I put in. That has on a very very tight budget has a better production value than this film does.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it is very yeah. I don't know, and I can't even read the names, but there are a lot of maybe not all top tier names, but at least a lot of B level names enough that we're like, well, this should be funny accidentally, and no such luck with Speed Zone.
All right, I might check it out. I want to check it out. I also want to check out Smokey and the Bandit 4 and 5 and 6.
Oh,
but
those I should have put on here. Yeah, there's 7.
Is there 7?
Yeah, there's 4 prequels that were made for TV, but they're by the same director, so you would think it would be good, but they're not. To their defense, I only saw 2 of the ones. I didn't see the other 2.
I've seen none of them. I've seen the first 3 Smokey and the Bandit or Smokey and the Bear, which is why I wanted to see that one, and I really liked them. Well, the third one maybe not so much because I don't think the third one had Bert. I think it was just fuck.
Yeah.
Jerry Mathers? No, not Jerry Mathers.
Jerry Reed.
That's it.
It's Smokey and the Beaver.
You're hard on the Beaver last night.
Father loves Beaver. I like 3 better than 2. 2, I thought he was just so down all the time, and
I thought he was an asshole.
Yeah, so I didn't care for 2. At least 3, Jerry Reed's upbeat the whole time and excited about it. So
yeah,
and have you heard this whole Smokey is the Bandit thing?
The what?
Okay. We're gonna try to get somebody interviewed that had something to do with Smokey and the Bandit 3 on this show to try to confirm this, because I've heard about it for years, and I even remember seeing a damn trailer for it, and the trailer is online. So there's a trailer where Jackie Gleason is in his outfit, Buford T. Justice outfit, in front of the United States flag like Patton. And he's talking about how he's been chasing them back and forth, and now he's going to try to do something different. He's going to become the bandit. He's going to dress like him. He's going to look like him, whatever. Which is not a good trailer because it sounds like he is going to dress like the bandit to try to catch the bandit. and drive a car like the Bandit. What the premise supposedly was is that, like in the second movie, where Jesus, Jackie Gleason played multiple roles. He played like his cousins or something at the end. He was going to play both the Smokey and the Bandit. And so, and Jerry Reed was still just Snowman. And apparently they shot it. And it exists somewhere. But the movie confused people because they were like, what in the hell is going on here? So they went back and reshot it with Jerry Reed as the Bandit because they knew they couldn't get Burt anyway.
Right. So
he became the Bandit, and then they had to reshoot some stuff. And there's even a sequence in the trailer for the new trailer, and maybe even in the movie itself, where there's a stunt thing with the Bandit, but the stunt man is really heavy. So it looks like he was the stand-in for Jackie Gleason because he was larger. So supposedly that's the case. But for some reason, it's like hundreds of people work on these movies. So there's got to be somebody that's still alive that knows if this is true or not. Because I want to see it. I know it's probably crap. But
it sounds like something to be on this list.
Well, it should be a special feature, like here it is. Here's Smokey is the Bandit, and that was the title. And that was the title in the original trailer. Smokey is the Bandit, which is confusing. But I think once you saw it, you're like, oh, okay, he's playing both roles. I don't know.
I'm gonna look that shit up because that's intriguing. That's interesting.
It is. It's very intriguing. And I'm like, well, by now it seems like somebody would have leaked it to the internet. Maybe they destroyed every copy of it. Who knows?
So bad.
But then they made these. One of the it was ABC or one of the channels was doing these a movie of the week thing, and they were doing various sequels and stuff to movies that had come out. And the director came back and did 4 Bandit movies, and they're prequels to the other one. But everything takes place later. Like they're playing, Pac-Man machine, but Pac-Man wasn't out when Smokey the Bandit came out. So, it doesn't really fit properly unless you figure, okay, maybe Smokey and the Bandit takes place further in the future than it really does. But yeah, so the knowledge I have of stupid shit is, again, now you're trying to pull me deeper into this hole. I was free for all those decades, and then you come back in my life, and I'm watching freaking flying sharks.
Let it never be said that In the Spotlight is not a place of higher learning and education.
That's true. Well, we should wrap it up. It's probably 90 degrees in this house. So the next couple episodes, at least one of the next episodes, we're going to have a special guest. Unlike last time where I mentioned who it is, we're going to wait till we actually have it recorded.
Good call.
So you've got somebody lined up. I've got somebody lined up. And we will feature them in the coming weeks.
Heck yeah. We're moving on up.
All right. So we're in this. What?
We're getting the superstars on here. Moving on
up. That's right. So for In the Spotlight, I'm Kyle Pierson.
And I am John Horton. And it has been our pleasure to entertain you this evening. We'll see you next time on In the Spotlight.
Adieu.
And white.